So just be careful what you say because I can blackmail it to you. Hi. So this is going to be an interesting experiment, to say the least, acting via Zoom, but I'm excited at the challenge. You know, a lot of my friends who live here in LA that are full-time actors, like, have to audition this way, and they have to, you know, self-tape. So I think it's going to be interesting to kind of use the medium in this new way to teach acting. So I think we're going to be going into new territory, but it's exciting. So just a couple of things that I've been learning. So the first thing I'd love to ask is if everybody would be okay muting yourself. So that's down below to the left of your screen, down this way. That way, if you shuffle around or you're eating chips or whatever, everybody doesn't have to put up with your nonsense. Revere, I'm looking at you. The other thing, he's like, what? The other thing, if you go to participants at the bottom, that's right in the middle, you can then see everybody that's in the meeting on the side over there. And the other thing it allows you to do is raise your hand. So does everybody see that button that says raise your hand? So everybody just try that. It'll create a little blue hand in the corner of your picture. Yep, everybody got it. You guys, except for Revere because he's eating chips. Let's go. Oh, you're just not going to do it? There we go. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do just here in the beginning of class today is just kind of like go over how things are going to change now that we're on Zoom. And then go ahead and like raise your hand if questions come up, but I'm not going to like interrupt for questions until the very end. So go ahead and take your hands down. And then if you have a question that comes up, just go ahead and put your hand up. You can even type it in the chat if you want to. But I'm just going to start talking, and then we'll get to questions. All right. So first thing, I sent an email out to everybody just kind of going over how some of the things in class are going to change. So first and foremost, the grading rubric is not going to change at all. So whatever points things were worth before is still the points that they're going to be worth now. It's just that the way that you're going to turn them into me and the timeline of them is going to change. So first and foremost, the way that we're going to run class is like not during our class time. So every time we're supposed to have class, I'm going to post a video lecture, and then I'm going to post an assignment to go along with that video lecture and a due date for that assignment every class time that we have. That way you can tackle our GE class when you can, because I know that the expectations for a lot of you have changed now that you're home, or your ability to jump on the computer might change based on family needs or whatever. So I don't want to have to hold you to that strict time that we meet in class. So make sure that maybe you write a reminder to yourself, or you set an alarm for yourself to remember to check in on our class, because you might forget about it and all of a sudden go like, oh my God, I've missed 3 assignments because I'm so busy studying my chemistry exam or my something. So that's the first thing to recognize, okay? I'm gonna communicate you with almost all of you, mostly through Blackboard, but now that we have this new amazing Zoom tool, I hope you guys will reach out to me this way, because I always wanna be able to have like one-on-one meetings with you as well, so that'll be kind of easy and fun. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that because we're gonna go to this new format of having class kind of whenever you can do it, just the attendance points are going to kind of like be given to you for free. So everybody's getting an A in attendance. Those points are free from me to you. Merry Christmas, happy birthday, whatever. Yes, great. So when it comes to turning in these assignments, you're going to do it almost exclusively through Blackboard. I'm going to work on teaching myself how to do the assignment function. I definitely know how to do the turn it in function. But after I post something, then I'll post a link on how to turn it in so that digitally we can communicate with each other. If for any reason you're having troubles with that because I've done it incorrectly, just go ahead and email me that link, or email me your paper or your worksheet or whatever you finished. The other thing that would be really helpful for this class is the ability to print things out. So when I send you scripts and I expect you to do work on the scripts, just know that there's this expectation that you're going to print them out. So if that's an issue for you, if you're traveling or you're not sure how you're able to print out papers, please email me and let me know so that we can try to solve that problem as well. The other thing is that I'm going to be asking you sometimes for videos because we are an acting class. I'm going to want to see some acting. So I'm going to ask you to record yourself. You can use Zoom to record yourself. You can use your iPhone to record yourself. And when you make those video files, they're really tough to email, as you guys probably already know. So the two ways that I'd love to get files from you, if they are videos, are going to be through Google Drive or through YouTube links. So when an assignment comes up, I'll go ahead and detail things like Google Drive and YouTube links if you've never done that before. But for the most part, we're going to start using those tools as well in this class. Your Wolves paper that was supposed to be due today has been moved to Friday. So it'll be due on Friday by the end of the day. The Turnitin link is still live on our Blackboard page, so you can go ahead and still use that link, please. If for any reason you weren't able to see this show, please make sure to reach out to me ASAP because I have a way to help you with that, thanks to Miss Anna. And so we can make all of that happen, okay? So the last thing is a lot of you have been asking me really smartly, like, what are we gonna do for our next play assignment? And one of the kind of interesting good things that has been happening out of this situation in the art community is a lot of online forums that are like really well done recordings of popular theaters across the world are now allowing their materials to be used for free. So we have free logins for you guys. So I'm going to do a lot of research on those couple of websites that have allowed access and find a play that I think will really fit this class and benefit everybody. And then once I do that, I'm going to make that your assignment of watching a play. So you'll be able to do that digitally as well. All right, I have a calendar that I have created for us. And this is basically going to be the calendar now that takes place of our syllabus calendar. So I'm just gonna go over it really quickly for you guys. I'm gonna post this on the Blackboard page as soon as we're done with the lecture here. So today we're doing an open scene exercise that I'll introduce at the end of this. And then next class, that open scene exercise worksheet will be due. And then I'm going to create for you a video on endowment and how that helps you in acting. And it's going to be amazing because I'm amazing. And you all are going to enjoy it, and you're all going to like post it everywhere because you're going to be like, oh my God, my teacher's amazing. And I'm going to be like, I know, I just said that in the last lecture. And that endowment exercise video that will be due next class, or that I'll introduce next class, will then be due March 29th. So that is after you've had your spring break. And then you can just turn that in to me. So then starting March 30th, I'm going to introduce our midterm assignment. So no midterm this week. We're going to just push that past spring break since all this craziness has happened and I have to enjoy Disneyland. So we'll start our midterm on the 30th, and then the midterm itself will happen on April 8th. And that will be the second time in class when we'll use Zoom using breakout rooms. So I don't know if any of your other classes have already used breakout rooms, but we can kind of experiment with that today. But I, as the administrator of our meeting, can basically put you into separate rooms, and then you guys can work on something, and then I can join your room and see the work that you've done together. Just the same way that like in class, we've broken out, oh great English. And I'm recording this. It's so hard. It's the same way that we did like exercises in class, but this way it's just done digitally. Hopefully there's not a lot of lag between the two videos. I don't think we've had that problem so far on Zoom, the way that I've been experimenting it with fellow professors. So being able to kind of do your open scenes in breakout rooms should actually be a cool possibility. So March 30th, you'll get that midterm assignment. We'll begin work with a class partner. So on that day, I'll assign you through a video who your partner is, and then you guys can contact each other to start working. And now that everybody is signed up for Zoom, you can meet this way, or you can, contact each other through FaceTime or whatever you want to do to work on that. I'll keep doing lectures, and then on April 8th, we'll set certain times where I'll meet you guys in Zoom. Then on April 13th, we'll start our work towards the final in class, which is working on a scripted scene and storytelling. One of the ways that we're going to work on this is watching the movie Finding Nemo. It's shocking. I'm picking a Disney movie. Who would have thought? And so if you don't have access to that movie, I'll be able to give you access to that movie so that you can watch it and fill out the worksheet that I'll be posting online for that. And then we'll keep working and working and working on the scene until we get to the final. So if you can see there at the back, May 6th and May 11th are like almost last two meeting times. I'll be meeting with people individually again on Zoom to work on the monologue that exists at the end of the scene for everybody. And then I'm going to change that our final is going to be our final meeting class, May 13th, instead of the final week. And if there's any issues with that, like you're finding like you do need that extra week, that's fine. Just reach out to me and we'll figure that out as time comes nearer. So again, this new calendar is going to replace the calendar in our syllabus, but I'm going to keep the syllabus on Blackboard just so you guys can have that for reference. And you'll also see here on April 13th, I will assign that play for the second critique, and then that paper is due right down here on April 27th, which is still the timeline of when In the Next Room was happening. So no huge surprise there. All right, so that is those things. So based on anything so far, does anybody have any questions or concerns or anything that I can answer for you? Look, if my arm goes over here, it's like it disappears like I'm a magician. Oh, it used to do, oh, there we go, wait. Oh, see? Oh, yes, Revere, what's your question?
Where do you want us to turn in our journals?
Oh, great question. So as I kind of said in the email, if you've already handwritten your journals so far in class, which should be 1 through 11, I believe, then you can take pictures of those and email them to me. The due date for that will just be like the end of class by like May 13th. If you get those to me. And then moving forward, we're going to do those journals class by class through the Blackboard page. So yeah, so if you have them digitally, if you've been typing them out, just email them to me. If you have handwritten them, just take those pictures and go ahead and give them to me.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, Angel, or no. Angel, did you have a question? Change your mind?
Say, do I have to like, can I type it or do I have to write it?
If you have already handwritten it, you can just take a picture of it as long as I'm able to read it and email it to me. But if you haven't, like if there's some left for you to do, you can type those and email those in as well.
Cool.
Yep. Good. Megan?
I was just wondering, so like moving forward then with the journal, since it's going to be like class by class, on Blackboard, is it going to be like submission boxes, or do we still like type it or write it out and then?
No, it's now going to be a submission thing. So I already put one on for today's class. So just to experiment so that you guys could kind of try it out. So I believe what happens, and if anybody has done it already or has done them online for another class, maybe you can chime in here. But I think what you do is you click on the link that says the journal, and then it takes you to a forum to type in, and then you submit it, and then I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way it's kind of like taking out the middleman altogether.
Cool, okay.
Yeah, you got it. Anybody else have questions about anything I've said? Nothing? All right, awesome. So let's move on to the lecture for today's class, which is right here. All right. So what we have been doing in class right now. So just to review, as I always do, we are studying action. And to remember, in acting, action is the tactics you're constantly taking to get around that obstacle so that you can achieve your objective. As we've been discovering through class exercises, tactics have to be varied, and they are very difficult to come up with in the moment to make them imaginative and fun. So we're going to continue to work on them, especially in great detail. Cohen likes to say that all tactics fit into two umbrella categories, which is inducing. And the sentence that goes with inducing tactics is, if you do this, it will be good for both of us. And threatening, which is, if you don't do this, it's going to be bad for you. In the last class, we sat down in those chairs next to each other, and you only had the dialogue of numbers, and we went from 1 to 10, and we started experimenting with this idea of an open scene or a countless scene. Basically, again, that is just a scene in which the circumstances don't matter so that the actor can completely concentrate on tactics. And the big step forward that we took last class was thinking about putting full concentration on the other in the scene or your partner. Like I said, I use that metaphor of a hose. So if you're like holding a garden hose and the water is on full blast, the idea is that you just want to constantly be soaking your partner and not get wet at all yourself. But inevitably, because we're human beings, some of the focus always ends up like coming back to us. So it's like, I'm looking at my partner, I'm looking at their face, and then I like make a weird gesture, and then all I can think about is like, Amanda, why did you make that gesture? Why does my voice sound like this? Does this person know what I'm thinking? And eventually then I'm just going into a deeper and deeper hole within like my own self-consciousness. And of course, another name we have for that is social armor. So the exercise that I'm giving you today is about kind of recognizing how through imagination that we now start to take leaps to help us get out of social armor. So remember, our amazing sentence for class is living truthfully in imaginary circumstances. And now we're really going to tackle that idea of imaginary circumstances. We're going to make the open scene or the situation so awesome and amazing and exciting that we kind of don't get caught up in caring about ourselves because we're so invested in the work we're doing. So this exercise is our first foray into like really taking a step in that direction. And the fact that it's an open scene means it's completely open to your interpretation now that we have just a little bit more dialogue instead of numbers. So the idea is that if you are really paying attention to your other, it means that you're always what Meisner likes to call in the moment. And he wants things to be in the moment. And I talked about this a little bit in class where it's just life is going by moment to moment to moment to moment. Just like a camera takes a picture every couple of seconds, our brains can take thousands of pictures very, very fast. And we as actors are trying to pay attention to them just like this as fast as we possibly can. So moment to moment to moment exercising. And if as an actor, you are truly in the moment, looking at your partner moment to moment to moment, they are so fascinating that no matter how many times we had done that countless scene, just counting from 1 to 10, the scene changed every time because your partner is changing every time and your observation of your partner is changing every time. And allowing action to happen in the moment for you every time is so imperative to being an actor. It allows the audience to see new action being created in the moment, which is the reason that they want to pay the money. So any actor that is really well regarded in Hollywood, someone like Meryl Streep, is amazing at moment to moment work. No matter how many times they did a take of a scene, she was able to find new things every time. And those moments of discovery make us just really hone in on an actor and really fall in love with them. So if you experience the scene for the first time every time, then your audience is really engaged. So that's the major new idea that we're moving forward to. So does anybody have any questions about any of that or the idea of that? Oh, there's Megan. Hi, Megan. All right, Jackie. There's Jackie. Hello. Yeah, everybody feeling good about that? Anna's sleeping, I think. Or she's writing something down. Can't tell. She's writing something down. Oh, she's like, I'm writing something down. Yeah. Gabby's like totally relaxed. She's like, look at my wall. Yeah, so good. All right. So going into this idea now, what we're going to do is think about how we can make the scene very interesting for ourselves, really honing in on what imaginary circumstances make us engaged as actors, because they're always up to us, no matter how much detail or how little detail is given to us by a playwright or a director. So in the case of an open scene, everything is up to your interpretation. So what I'm really looking for you guys, like in this exercise to do for me, is to really show me how far out there and what really interests you, because you get to create these. So in lesson 5 in your books, which was a reading assignment from last week, there was an exercise that was 5-1 in those books. So I'm going to go ahead and post that on our page. But where did I put the book? I guess I didn't put it anywhere. And now Howard is staring at me like I'm ignoring him. Deal with it. I'm in class right now. And so I'm going to post this on our page, but the 5-1 is this idea of it just gives you an open scene, and the open scene is called What You Did Last Night. Let me see actually if right now I can pull it up for you guys. Meep, 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 meep. La, 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 la. Okay, here it is. So it looks like this in your book. It's on page 40, I believe. And it's, as you can see, instead of just being numbers now, it's going to have a little bit of dialogue. Hi, hello, how's everything? Fine, I guess. Do you know what time it is? Not exactly. Don't you have a watch? Not on me. Well, what? What'd you do last night? So you can start seeing that, like, maybe as you read this scene, all of a sudden a movie starts in your mind and you go like, oh, I know exactly what's happening here. And that's what we're going to investigate. So Cohen has given us two pages, but he's given you 7 scenarios in which this can happen. Again, I'm going to post this on Blackboard. I know it looks horrible right now on my screen. Apologies. So what you are going to do is you are going to write out or type out all of the dialogue from the what did you do last night scene. And then you're going to choose one of the 7 scenarios, and you are going to write a bunch of information for each of the lines for me, exploring tactical use, and then creating a story so that when I read it, I will see it like a movie in my mind. So first, I'm going to ask you to stick to one of the 7 that Cohen has presented you with. So in this case, I did his heteronormative. I don't know why it has to be heteronormative, but number 3. So here in the book, it says, A and B, same sex, who cares, Cohen, are roommates. Both have been involved with the same boy or girl. Again, Cohen, who cares? During the past few weeks, both are still interested in pursuing their relationship. Both are somewhat suspicious of the other's secrecy. They meet while returning to their room after a night's absence. So first off, you should notice, as a good actor, what is this scenario full of? It is full of conflict. Bam! You can't really see it. Oh no, kick. Yeah, it's my red house socks. So it is full of conflict. And we always want to make sure that our circumstances are full of conflict and high stakes so that we can engage in them and engage in the action. So that should always be your first step, is where is the conflict in this situation and why do I find it interesting and imaginative? Yes? So then what you're going to do, going back to the assignment here, what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of the 7 situations. You're going to then type out the full script into like a Word document. And then you're going to decide on an objective for both of the characters A and character B. And remember that every objective includes the word need or the word want. Oh my God, I'm recording this, and every time I mess up, I'm going to just be like, okay, you guys are fine. We're fine. We're moving along. All right. After each line of dialogue, you're going to assign a tactic. So we know that that's either threatening or inducing, and then a reason that the character is going to use that tactic. Then you're going to write for me 1 physical and 1 vocal action the character is taking through this tactic to get their objective. So here is my example of what I'm looking for from you guys. So make sure, like, if this is your sheet, that you're going to write like your name on here and the assignment and all that kind of stuff in the corner. But here's my example. I chose situation 3, so the roommate's dating the same person. So the objective of character A in my imagination, because it's what interests me the most, would be that A needs B to not go into their shared room because A has planned a date night for the girlfriend. So I'm thinking of seeing a person who has like set up their whole dorm room like gorgeously, like rose petals, and they have all those candles, and they spent all this money and they've made it so interesting, and they're really excited to show this to her, but they forgot that the roommate might come home in between now and the date. And so he's like right there at the door, like making sure nobody goes in. And then characters B's objective is like, he's coming home to the apartment and he's exhausted and he just wants to go inside and just take a rest because he's ready to like fall asleep. So the objective of B is that they want A to leave the apartment so that they can invite the girlfriend over later without them being around. So remember, you're always going to want to have two objectives that are complete in contrast of each other. In my case, they both want the other person to leave the apartment, which means one of them has to win and one of them has to lose. So the most conflict you can get is always going to be best. Yeah. So now we're going to go on to what the worksheet is asking of you. So A's first line is just hi. So I say in this case, in my imagination, in my movie, that the tactic they use is inducing. So they're smiling. So they smile back at me. So the inducing sentence that I fill in here is smile back at me when I smile at you, and it's going to be good for both of us. So I fill in that little sentence. And then I say A speaks in a bright, high-pitched tone, smiles, and they close the door quickly so that B cannot go into the apartment and see the romantic dinner that's all set up. So I have a vocal tactic, and then I also have a physical tactic. And then I say they use this tactic. Why? A uses this tactic so that B will not think that A is up to anything. So those are all of the details I'm looking for every line. Again, I'm looking for the tactic used, threatening or inducing. Then fill in the sentence for me. If it's inducing, if you do this, it's good for both of us. If it's threatening, if you don't do this, it will be bad for you. Then I explain what the vocal and physical tactic looks like so that I can see it as like a movie in my mind. And then I say what is kind of the small objective that the character has in trying to accomplish this tactic. So then B's next line, as you can see right here, is hello. So the tactic now is going to be threatening. So B is going to kind of be like, I'm going to use a threatening tactic because don't be fake with me or it'll be bad for you. B doesn't smile, uses a low tone of voice with the subtext of like, I'm not impressed. They also move closer to the door and take out their keys really loudly so that A knows to like move the F away. B uses this tactic because they don't believe A's tactic was real. Yeah? So again, I'm looking for all that information on every line. You can see here in my example that I've only done the first 4 lines, but I'm expecting you to turn into me every line done with this work. All right? So just as a reminder, I'm going to post what's in the book. So the scanned pages of the exercise in the book of 5-1 on page 40 and 41 in your books. I'll post that on Blackboard. Please don't tell Robert Cohen so he doesn't sue me. And then I'm also going to post the lecture notes that I just showed you and the example of the assignment. Then on Blackboard, I'm going to create a turn-in link for that Word document for you to turn in for me. And this assignment is going to be due by next class time. So Wednesday at 4 p.m., I'm expecting this turned into me. All right. So any questions about the assignment or what I'm looking for? Whoa, how did Angel go all pink? How'd you do that, Angel? Do you have those LED light things for your TikTok videos?
No, I just like LED lights.
TikTok videos. Cool. All right, nobody has any questions? Feeling good about this assignment? It's kind of what we've been working on, but now you have to take that extra step into using your imagination, circumstances, who, what, when, where, why, how. Make it interesting for you so that the stakes are high. So every paper I receive should have a very different idea of what this scene actually is. All right? So always remember that you can contact me via Zoom here so that if you want to actually talk with me one-on-one because you have a lot of questions and you think I can explain it better to you looking at you like this through Zoom, please do that. You can also email me questions at any time. Oh, come on, Angel, now you're blue. Is that just going to change all the time? It's so nice. It's so like relaxing. And Angel's like, yeah, it is. So you can reach out to me via Zoom and we can have a little conference just like office hours as if we were on campus. You can email me anything you need. I'm here to help you answer any questions or get used to this new format of learning. But for now, Today is just this lecture, and now I'm going to post that assignment so that you can use the rest of class time to start working on it, knowing that it's due to me tomorrow. I'll say by the end of day instead of 4 o'clock. So this assignment is due by the end of day on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, I'll go ahead and post a new video dealing with endowment and how that helps us move forward into getting ready for scripted work. All right. Sound good? You guys can do those thumbs up. Do you see that reaction thing? If you're good, you can do a thumbs up, but you can push the little reaction button, or you can just do it for reals. Yeah, see, Angel's got it. Yes, you guys are on it. Perfect. Okay. Well, thanks, you guys. Oh, some of you are doing both. So fancy. All right. Well, thanks, you guys. I'm glad that this worked out, and I miss seeing you guys. I wish I could see you guys today, but in some way I'm seeing you, and I hope that everything is okay and everybody is happy and healthy where you are. Again, just reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, but that's it for today. All right. Peace out.